We got the cannabis industry and the boxing industry. I mean, choose one. What's
the cannabis? I plan on cutting the buds off. No, cannabis, man. Right now, I'm in LA. My application has been filed for a license. I'm going for
your own strands. So to make
that's a license to do whatever I want to do in cannabis.
Okay. All of that. Okay.
Distribution, delivery, dispensary, grow, and manufacture.
Wow.
So I'm gonna cover all areas. I'm gonna be employing a whole lot of people. I'm gonna be teaching a lot of people about the game. How to grow, how to manufacture. I'm just excited about it, man, because the cannabis industry is going to be a resource of cash that could go into our community and help us do some of the things that we need to do.
Absolutely. Do you think that more needs to, that rappers should be invested more in their community or more within, the homegrown effort nowadays, or what are you seeing? I'm sure a lot of rappers.
But we all should be, we all should be putting money back into the hood. I'm looking here in Atlanta. I used to stay here like a year and a half, 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, I stayed in Atlanta, and I can see how just in that short period of time, how big business have started to buy up the hood, and it's sad that the people who live in the hood can't hold on to these valuable assets. And I think not only rappers, but football players, basketball players, everybody should be reinvesting inside of their community, and they should be looking for the bright minds to bag. But most of them don't. I'm glad you don't, because I'm gonna get them.
Keeping it on the hip hop level, like most of us, especially myself, I studied and was a fan of Nip. And something he was really preaching that a lot of rappers wasn't is vertical integration. It's one thing to be a rapper, but he's a businessman, had his hand in so many areas. And how you feel about just the entrepreneurship with artists now, kind of how we're thinking, not because there was a time where it was like, let me sign this deal, and people were signing bad deals. They didn't understand.
That's over with, though. Those days are over. So, if they ever existed. I don't even know if they ever really existed. But shout out to Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? Me and Nipsey was cool. We never did any business together, and I wanted to badly to do business with Nipsey. Mm-hmm. And I wish I would have had the opportunity to help him in his journey. I felt that there was a lot of insight that I could have given Nipsey about, being wealthy, living in the ghetto, because you have to have skills to live in the ghetto with money. It's definitely a skill. Trust me. And being humble is part of that task, because people will come up and try you all the time. I mean, right now, I have a car lot that's inside of South Central LA, and they come there all the time, letting me know, one, I'm in their hood, and that I got to respect their hood, So it's definitely rules to living in the hood. But I think that we could use more true entrepreneurs in hip hop. I don't know if a lot of the guys who we think are entrepreneurs and who people look up to are really entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. I've had conversations with quite a few of them about bookings and what's your price for booking, and then you call them with that number and they can't do it. What date you open? We flexible. We can go any day you go, but the deal never gets done. So a true entrepreneur can maneuver however they want to. Can go where they want to. Can say what they want to. I just watched that documentary with Muhammad Ali. And one of his things is that you have to call him by his name. You know what I'm saying? And his name is not what you wanted to call him by, but what he wanted to be called by. And he took offense to you calling him Cassius Clay. He didn't want to be called Cassius Clay. He told him his name was Muhammad Ali, and he stood by that. And no matter what it cost him, he even gave up his world title, because he wanted to be called Muhammad Ali.
And he had to fight back for it.
he had to fight back
Right.
for it. So I think that more hip hop artists should get their causes and stand up for their causes, and not just hip hop, but us as a people. Period. You know, we have to stand up for our causes and put our money where our mouth is, and put our efforts where our mouth is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a maturation in hip hop and from a street level, but do you think that that's a negative thing that's kind of happened, that like maybe hip hop and music and just maybe urban culture isn't as it was back then? And who do you think is carrying that torch now, like as far as the generational now, to where we're not losing our identity? Because, you know, people talk about it all the time, Atlanta, San Francisco, like with gentrification, and then like, you know, we're losing our identity, and a lot of times that identity ties right into the street as well.
I think hip hop been lost its identity. You know, when corporate America took over, it wasn't no longer about the talented, you know, the gifted. It became more about how many spins can you get on the radio? You know, how much did you pay the radio station to spin you? You know, how much? Who did you know at BET? You know, how much did you pay World Star? You know, it's no longer about I'm bad. You know what I'm saying? It's about how much money can I afford to pay to play. Really, I mean that's really what it is. Pay to play. You know, and I think that it kind of took away what hip hop was originally. You know, hip hop was originally the voice for the underdogs. You know, the voice for the people who had no voice. But now it came to where it's the voice of the people who can get close to the people with the money, you know, the Universal. You know, that's why Universal, I mean, you know, you look at all the people that you hear on the radio, almost all of them are signed by Universal. You know, you can almost count on your hand people who are signed to other labels who you hear on the radio. So it no longer became from the talented, but, you know, who did they choose? You know, how did you get chosen?
So how do we maintain our integrity in the sense of, like, this might be a bit of a double-edged sword, but, you know, as we want minorities to get wealthier, to wise up, to get smarter, to make more money, but they still want a voice, whether it be literary or through rap and through music, how do we still maintain, in your opinion, just the essence of hip-hop, the street, when we want to get wiser, richer, and then we're not necessarily tied into the street level?
Well, you don't have to be. You don't have to necessarily be tied into the street level to become successful. I don't believe. I believe that you could live in the hood, witness the hood, and then take the street entrepreneurness and parlay that into any career that you want. And you don't necessarily have to go to Big Brother or to the Machine to get your voice heard. I mean, you know, we was just in New York this week, and when we walked up, it was at a basketball game, and Chris Gotti was there, and after me and him shook hands and we started talking, then he was telling the guys how I walked away from $1 million deal, a movie deal, and I walked away because the deal didn't make sense for me. You know, it made total sense for the studio, but it didn't make sense for me, and I had to walk away from that deal because I know what I wanted out of the deal, and if they wasn't going to provide the necessary things that I felt was important to me, then I didn't want to have a part of the deal.
That makes sense, because if you would have took the deal, it would have put you right back, you know, for the sake of the conversation, back in the same position you were, so you're still talking about the same things. They want to keep you down, but by turning that down, you essentially are getting more money later because you can still walk
now
my
movie, they may have the script today. You know, I talked to the script doctor last night, and he was like, man, I'm almost finished. I'm doing the finishing touches. So now my movie's going to come out, and I got a voice in it. You know, they were talking about putting my movie out and told me to walk away.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like you know, you take a chick to the motel, you know, you knock her off, you give her $300, and you tell her, don't call me no more. You know, I'm through with you. We never gonna see each other again, unless then I want to see you again. You know, and I felt cheap. You know, like who you think you talking to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't talking to no chump.
Right.
You know, just because I'm broke don't mean I ain't got morals. You know, next you'll be talking about get on the couch, you know, roll over, you know, who knows what all, you know, I mean, that's how I look at it. You know, these people, you know, if you let them go, they just keep going until next thing you know, then you have no morals. You know, you become theirs where they totally own you. You can't speak out if something is wrong, you know. And I never want it to be that way. I want to speak whenever I get ready. You know, if I want to say something, I say it. You know, hit me in the mouth.
Absolutely. So that's like key 14 in the book, Personal Integrity. Read another piece here because I like doing this. You feel me? In order to succeed, one must be 100% whole and completely honest with themselves regarding who they are and what they want. Do not set your goals based on someone else's opinion of what you should become. Take personal inventory of yourself to understand the unique qualities you possess, your personal likes and dislikes, and your strengths and weaknesses. Everyone is great at something, but as long as you are lying to yourself about what you really like and who you are, you will never find that something. Honesty in dealing with others will not take place until one is first honest with themselves.
Hey, Coley killed it, man.
Come
I
on.
mean, you know, if you lie to yourself, and I look at lying to yourself like somebody who struggling with their rent, lights ain't barely on, but then when they come out of the house, they got on a brand new pair of Air Jordans, they hair on whipped, you know what I'm saying? They got on their gold chains, they got on the latest jeans, you know, the $400 jeans, you know. You lying to yourself. It's fucked up at home. Your home base is fucked up. But when you come out in the public, it looks like everything is good. I would rather be fucked up at home and look like I'm fucked up because I'm really fucked up
rather than
to be playing like I ain't fucked up when I'm really fucked up.
yeah.
You know, because if somebody see you messed up, they may give you a hand. Right. But if you lying to them, telling them you good, why should I help him? He's good.